and Precious Amayo. Now we'll start off here in Africa, where the United Nations is set to send a ceasefire monitoring mission to Uvira in Eastern DR Congo in the next days, as announced on Monday by one of the main mediators in the DRC conflict, Qatar. At the meeting in Doha between representatives from both the M23 rebel group and the Congolese government, both sides agreed to set up a way to monitor a permanent ceasefire, and that's according to Qatar. The monitoring mission from the UN in Uvira is a first step in this direction. Uvira is a key strategic point in the region and was captured in a rapid offensive in December by the rebel group M23. Congolese armed forces retook Uvira last month after the rebels agreed to withdraw from the city. It is not yet clear when exactly the mission will arrive in Uvira. Soldiers from Guatemala participating in the mission already left their country in a farewell ceremony on Saturday. Now, for more on this development, international affairs analyst Paul Ejime joins me on the What Now. Good to have you join us, Mr. Ejime.
Thank you, Precious. Happy New Year, Happy New Month.
Oh, really? It's true. This is the first time we're talking this year. Happy New Year to you too. In the space of 1 month, a lot seems to have happened on the international space, again, also in Africa. And the UN is now sending some deployments to ensure close monitoring of the adherence to the ceasefire in DR Congo, especially specifically Uvira. I just want to get your thought on that.
So, UN is not a stranger in DR Congo. Remember the Congo war and all that. In fact, a month after it gained independence from Belgium in 1960, in July, they had to call UN force, and they've been there off and on. Then it was to chase out the Belgian forces that tried to, when the government said they were not comfortable with that, the Katanga War. Some of our parents will remember fighting in those wars. So the issue is, how effective is this going to be? Because as we speak, there is still a UN mission in the Congo. They call it MONUSCO. Okay, so what is this one going to do? How is this one different from what is to monitor ceasefire? What about the whole country? I think they should be thinking about how to bring a lasting solution to the Congo problem. From Congo to Zaire, from Zaire of Mobutu Sese Seko to this present moment. All is about the mineral resources that this country has and the multiplicity of interests that are fighting for it. This issue, this war, with the benefit of, in fact, President Trump of America says it's one of the wars it has ended, or it has managed to end. We are now seeing that it is not yet Uhuru. They are there, but they do not have, and I'm sorry to say, does not have a track record of ending wars. So if they have been in Congo since 1960, in Cyprus since 1965, and those wars are still going on, what does it say about the UN? At one point, they had more than 20,000 UN peacekeeping forces there. So, what why have they not been able to get this war? The reason is that UN peacekeeping operation has become an industry. Okay, it's not effective. Why? Because one, the personnel are insured by, who are the companies? By Western countries owned companies, and they cannot take casualties. So once you find a problem, the thing is to evacuate them, okay? Because they don't want to pay insurance claims. What happened in Rwanda before the genocide of 1994? UN forces withdrew. So, and that is why it is so painful, Precious, about what is happening to ECOWAS today. Because I can tell you for free that was it not because of ECOMOG, the ECOWAS peace monitoring group in Liberia and Sierra Leone, those wars will still be going on because people are benefiting from it. So it doesn't inspire much hope. I'm sorry to dampen your spirit or those who think that this is a solution. And it is just for going to one part, one community. What about
And
the
I will
whole?
get back to this peacekeeping mission. I sorry I interrupted you. You were going to round off your talk. You would do that. But I was just wondering if at all, if you get the sense that it sort of signals progress in the Doha-mediated direct talks between DRC and M23, does it show that at least progress is being made?
Of course, it is incremental, that they are no longer killing. Because where we are talking now, the M23 seized seized Doha, and then the place has now gone back to the government troops. Okay, hallelujah. But is that the solution? We are looking for a lasting solution that since independence, this country has never known peace because of the resources that everybody is. When Laurent Kabila was killed, they brought his son, okay? His son was already signing contracts with foreign countries. So it is not about Congolese people, about the 115 million of them. It is about this external interference. So they want what is there. What can they get? And it is put the country in this failed situation. So they should be talking about the Congolese, not about bringing UN forces to come and collect their own, and then that is yes, it is an incremental success, but this is just not what the Congolese need. That's my point.
We will get to the efforts in Congo as well to restore peace within themselves. But I wanted to also ask you, because you've talked about the peacekeeping mission in DR Congo since 1960 and the presence of the UN. But there was also a SADC intervention that fell short last year. That SADC intervention was there since 2023. They had to terminate the mandate of the mission to the DRC. Do you also get, I mean, I'm wondering why some of these missions have failed. And if you think that some of these efforts, in quotes, to sort of ensure peace in DRC has also been much more transactional than it has been a willingness to support.
And what is the word transactional? Because it has never been about the Congolese. It's about these people who are pretending to be offering help. When you are helping somebody, you have to ask. You have their best interest at heart. But what is happening is that they are all negotiating from what is the need for them. The SADC came there, and that is why you can give a lot of credit to ECOWAS, in spite of what is going through today. But it was because it was one regional whatever community, that economic community, out of the 8 that is in ECOWAS in Africa, that was able to handle conflict management and resolution. And they did that perfectly. But today, the leaders that are there now have also gone transactional. In fact, they are no longer thinking about Africa. They are thinking about themselves, their families, and how much they can steal from the community, instead of focusing on the 400 million people. Pardon me if I'm bringing ECOWAS into it, but that was to show you about what works. Until they now make it, they prioritize the interests of Congolese or the people that are involved in the conflict, you are not going to succeed. Because as soon as before the pen, the ink dries with which you are signing this, another problem will erupt, because you have not taken care of the root causes of this problem. So they need to do that. Africa, I'm afraid, African leaders, they are not, in fact, I don't call them leaders, they are rulers. Most of them, they are not concerned, they are not prioritizing the interests. They are not providing security. They are not providing all what the government should provide. They have failed as a government. So that is the bottom line. Whether they are in Agbada, or you can also see the resurgence of military intervention, military coups. It's because the civilians have failed, and then the military is not the answer, because they will also go around and do another transition. And you see what has happened in Guinea. The man there, Mamadi Doumbouya, has now removed his he's removed his uniform as a general to become a civilian president. So at what cost? There are times opposition does not participate in these transition elections. So it is tailor-made for them to, you now see that it's elongation, power elongation, or power grab that we are seeing. And the civilians are also doing the same thing. Where is it Benin? Is it Côte d'Ivoire? Is it where is it Guinea-Bissau? Or where? Even Togo, everywhere in Gabon that has happened. Chad has also saw somebody transmitting from military to civilian. Gabon did it recently, and so on and so forth. Africa is in a state of flux. It is not happening. They have to come together and remember the Pan-African issue, because no one country in Africa can go it alone. They will become like a chick that has abandoned the mother hen. The hawk will just come and be picking them out one after the other for their prey. Africa has to unite.
Mr. Jime, I have a few minutes to break, but before the break, I wanted to talk to you about the M23 rebels and the number of land, on just a vast swathe of land that they seized last year, much more than they had ever held before in Eastern Congo. Even with the peace talk, what is the possibility that government control will be fully restored?
It is a big question, because it's not enough to bring this so-called peace ceasefire that does not scratch it's only scratching the surface of the problem. There is and then Rwanda is involved. The problem, that crisis has been internationalized, externalized. So everybody is coming. UAE, everybody. There is like a well, the big well that has been washed off ashore, and everybody is going to with their cutters, their cutlasses, to cut as much meat as they can take. That should not be the case. Africa is going through now another scrambling. Scramble for Africa is happening. The Russians are there, Americans are there, Europeans, NATO, everybody is there. Chinese are there. Why must it be Africa that will make itself vulnerable or render itself, puts itself in a position where what is happening, Africans are just, they are, if you are not, what is it called, at the table, you are on the table. You are you will become the menu of at the table, where people are just eating, because it is the resources of Africa that is at stake. The leaders are mismanaging it, and then others, foreigners, external forces are now coming to, because that is what happens. If you cannot control your house, your home, the home is not in order. And it is said that the rat at home that invites the rat from outside to tell them that this is where we have fish or the food store. And what do? They are having a field day, unfortunately. This is our Africa. It is unfortunate, and I hope that one day
Mr. Jime, don't make your final speech yet. It looks like you're making the closing remarks. We're going to go to a break and then return to the conversation with you as we look at efforts on the ground towards a national dialogue in DR Congo. Stay with us, everyone. We'll have Mr. Paul Jime back just after the break. Stay with us. Now, we've been talking about efforts on the ground in DRC to ensure that a ceasefire brokered by Qatar between M23 rebel and government in Kinshasa is adhered to by both parties. Now we understand that the UN is sending a peacekeeping mission to ensure that that happens. I will be speaking with international affairs analyst Paul Jime. Thank you so much for staying with us.
My pleasure.
So you were talking earlier, about just larger efforts to ensure sustainable peace in the DRC and not just, a ceasefire agreement. There is now a proposed national dialogue. How does that tie into all of this?
Well, I wish just dialogue by itself will resolve issues. It is the substance. And then the character of those that are involved, the stakeholders that are involved. You will be surprised that, some of these things, like I keep saying, it's never about the Congolese. It's about these stakeholders. Can you even imagine that when you are discussing an African problem, it has to go to Qatar? If you are not going to Qatar, you go to other places. Why are Africans making themselves a laughing stock? Why? What is there? If when two brothers, people of the same stock, the same tribe, the same language, you can't control, take care of your brothers or your sisters. What does it say? But I'm saying that now the problem is about the resources in Guinea-Bissau. That it is it, the gravy train. Nobody wants to let go. The outsiders that are coming there, they are there because, in fact, some of them, let's be fair now, also contribute to the crisis because they know that if Congo is stable, they will not be able to do what they are doing today. But they profit from the chaos. And, it's something that they created, then profit from it. So that is part of it. It's not going to end until you see leaders in that country. And then the citizens also see the need to bring people, not those that are stooges of international or of other countries or interests. Elect their own leaders that can perform and then hold them accountable. But as long as they keep allowing others to choose their leaders, because that's what happens. By the time you see it now, by the time you finish, they will now go on the election and get those who are compliant to foreign powers. And they will be doing the bidding of these foreign powers and not the interest, not
Mr.
the interest of
you're highlighting the exact problem that has been going on in DR Congo.
Yes.
It's a protracted crisis that has lingered for years and defied all peace efforts. I'm wondering what you think the solution is if DR Congo is going to have any semblance of peace at all.
The solution is to have a government in place that has the interest of Congolese at heart. A Congolese, a pro, a pan-Congolese government. Because what we have now are people who will pretend that they're there because they want to govern Congo. But they are doing it on behalf, these are commissioned agents. They are doing it on behalf of their masters, of those who put them there. So until we have genuine or people that are genuinely elected, that Congolese represent the will of the people, you can't get it right. That is what I'm saying. It might sound very, defeatist, but that is the solution. All of these other things are cosmetic. This ceasefire, bringing UN forces, by the time they now hear the first sound of the gun, they will be evacuated to leave Congolese to their own device, leave them at their own devices. That is what happens. Every other person intervening that does not address this issue of making Congo work for Congo, making government in Congo work for Congolese, he will continue to have this problem. And so it is a responsibility both of the political leader, class and then the citizens themselves, that they should not be hoodwinked by the fact that some people are now pretending to be working for them. Let them sit down and then do, retrospective undertaking, search their hearts, and then take take their own destiny in their own hands.
Absolutely.
They are not doing so.